Brilliance Audio presents An Unequal Defense by Chad Zunker, performed by Christopher Ryan Grant. Rebel opened his eyes, blinked several times, and tried to focus. Where was he? The area in front of him was dark. The only light came from a lamppost down the alleyway. A few feet ahead sat two dingy metal dumpsters stuffed full of boxes and trash bags. Beneath him was cold and dirty concrete, which was not unusual. As a 37-year-old drifter who'd lived on the streets for the past 5 years, Rebel was used to finding himself sitting on concrete with his back pressed against the brick of a random building. He felt disoriented. Had he had a spell? Putting a hand on his head, Rebel noticed he was wearing a knit cap. That didn't make any sense to him. He never wore hats of any kind. He yanked it off, stared at it, confused. A black ski cap. Where had he gotten it? Then, his eyes drifted down to his chest, where he discovered he was also wearing an army green jacket. It had some kind of unfamiliar military stitching on the front left breast pocket. This was not his jacket either. Had he taken it from someone? Pushing himself up off the concrete, Rebel squinted, peered down the alley in both directions. He noticed 2 men sleeping on top of cardboard boxes in another doorway of the same building 10 feet over from him. They were wrapped in dirty blankets, and both looked asleep or passed out. Rebel thought he recognized the older guy with the scraggly gray beard but couldn't place his name at the moment. Turning around, Rebel could hear rock music pumping from inside the building behind him. Was he back in Moscow? How long had he been there? He put both of his hands in the front pockets of the green jacket, searching for answers. His left hand came up empty, but his right hand gripped a familiar metal object. What the hell? He pulled out a gun, his eyes shooting wide open. Startled, he flexed his fingers involuntarily, squeezing the trigger, suddenly setting the gun off. A loud gunshot rang out, a bullet ricocheting off the concrete just inches from his foot, scaring the hell out of him. Rebel stared at the gun in his shaky hand. Why did he have a gun? He hated guns and never used them anymore, not since he'd bolted from the program. Glancing over to his left, Rebel made out a guy lying face down on the concrete in the middle of the alley, about 20 feet from him. The man wasn't moving. He wore a white button-down, slacks, nice black dress shoes. There was something familiar about him. Then, Rebel noticed smoke lingering in the air a few feet to the left of the man, like someone had just exhaled a puff from a cigarette. Beneath the smoke, Rebel spotted a face staring right at him from another back doorway of the building. Rebel felt a charge go through him. Was the guy a Russian agent? Had they finally found him? The guy in the doorway stepped out a bit, a pool of light now washing over his face. He didn't look like Russian intelligence. Was he CIA? A phone was pressed to his ear. Was he calling for backup? Were more spooks about to be all over the alley? Rebel cursed, felt his heart racing. Getting taken in by the CIA might be worse for him than being captured by the Russians. He had to get the hell out of there right now before it was too late. He could never let the CIA take him back to the Dragon's Lair.